Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Oblivion Quest Mods Part 4. We're on the Seducer, and we're gonna start off with the Lost Child quest. There it is. Yeah, Tesser fears that a wood elf has joined some conjurers and got in some trouble. There's a Dark Elf that convinced him, but that's actually a Mazkin. And you got his description there, and a bunch of forts listed. He was last seen in Breville, so we're gonna go with that. Gonna go check out Breville first. My recording wasn't going so well. There's one of the paintings. So if that little ding sound is what tells you you found the painting. You probably hear my voice in the background. A what? An Oreo? I somehow got the feeling that she's no Altmer. Close enough for me though. That little echo there is because my recording voice wasn't going so well. I've noticed a new Dunmer in town, and she isn't staying here. I wonder if she's having a friend here, or staying at the Lonely Suitor Lodge, which would be quite a strange choice, don't you think? New Courier Edition. In Breville's air, it'll just mold in a few days.
Take your time.
There was a young Bosmer here some time ago. I guess he was going to visit some kind of magic festival. He talked about rooms made out of butterflies, stars in the day sky, giant mushrooms, and all that. That's just so typical. The Arcane University and Imperial City gets all the fun, and we here get only a rundown shack and a few alchemists as a mage's guild. So yeah, I was recording audio for my voice, but it didn't come out right. I don't know if the microphone was in the wrong place or what, but yeah. So I'm recording over it. So now we're headed over to the Dark Seducer, the Mazkin, to see if she has anything to say. Yeah, it was the Sever the Link quest we got while doing the Soothsay decree. She's trying to seduce the Count's son into going to the Shivering Isles and going crazy. So you need 75 conjuration and to get some extra details. Lost child, I'm not here for any child. Well, at least not when you're talking lived into count. State of mind, well, let's ignore that for now. Banish a Daedroth. Odd. For which Daedric prince do you currently work? Your kind, servants of Sanguine, females at least. Do you usually just throw them down and sleep with them until they never get a clear thought again? Molag Bale. Doesn't he like that mortals are taken by force? King of rape, after all. Clavicus File, some kind of deal with only your soul to lose. Mehrunes Dagon, kill, murder, and maim. I even remember a case in which Azura bolstered her rank of winged twilight with some of your kind. And Nocturnal, must not forget Nocturnal. Although no, it doesn't feel like you've got anything in mind than your own selfish needs. So what do you want, Wanderer of Oblivion? Seems like my echo went away. Kinneral, that's my name. Always has been, at least for the last couple of years. Dance. Yes, the dance for one's destiny, for one's fate, or for the fate and destiny of another. Gellius belongs into the madhouse. We all know this, don't we? He'll be happier in there. You won't spoil his fun, will you? I fear you will. For a position, you need to be a Duke or Duchess of Dementia or Sheogorath. I command you to leave. And by what authority? You're no superior, not even an equal. Forget it. Mercantile does nothing. Mercantile, how about a little gold? You're joking, right? And what should I buy with money? Bribing may work for mortals, but not for Et Ada. Conjuration, you don't want to do it because you might get locked into battle. Estates, I don't like the constant raining. I don't even like this skooma sucker. We already have Caldana Monreus, don't we? She's the one in Crucible. Oh. Coral works if you have the place, the house with the extra bedroom add-on, and same thing with Kingrad. Cheydinhall never works because there's no added bed you can buy. No bedroll in the street for me. Offering a house you don't own. You do not own a suitable place in Coral. Stop kidding yourself. Kidding me? I don't know. If you are a Mazkin and you've gone into the Flame of Madness, it's one of the Shivering Isles quest, then you can tell her that you can do it. Or you can fight her, combat, prepare yourself. Or the conjuration one, you need 75 conjuration, and you need to ask her the right things. But first, you have to talk to someone that knows about how to banish a Daedroth and get some more details. This quest is... I recently watched a video on it. It's like a reference to Battlespire, because in Battlespire you banish Mehrunes Dagon by using his protonym, which is what is brought up during this quest. So if you get her name and learn how to banish Daedroth and get all this extra details, you just command her to leave or banish her, and then she just dies in front of you. I prefer to not kill her, because that way she helps out later on in other quests. If you command her to leave and make her leave in some other way, she's in the Shivering Isles in the throne room of Sheogorath, and if you let her stay in one of your houses, she wanders around that city. So this guy, over here, the bedroll, there's a hidden elf that hangs out here. To start his quest, you just need a disposition check. I'll be showing it later on. But yeah, right now we're going to do the guild guide that Kanai gave us in the second video, I believe. Yeah, the Seducer has done some more stuff, got some more fame, so Kanai showed up and got the same quest that the Nord has. So, gotta speak to Raminus Pullus. Order of the Virtuous Blood, the vampire hunting mod, it adds this topic to him, even if you haven't done the vanilla quest. And I guess he doesn't like vampires, because you just tell him about killing some vampires and it gives you 1,000 gold. Well, I already know about that. I guess you deserve something for your efforts. Come back again when you are more experienced, will you? Banish a Daedra. How can someone get into the Mages Guild without knowing the basics? Listen and listen carefully. Destroy their body, or destroy their link to Mundus, or know their protonym, and use it against them. So yeah, that's one of the things you need to, in order to talk her to death. So next up is Guild Guide. You have to convince Raminus here, and if you get all 4 of them, you don't have to pay the fee, but if you get at least 2 of them, you can, he agrees to do the Guild Guide. And then you have to go to each chapter house and convince the different chapters of the city. It's like Soothé Decree again, except with the Mages Guild. And there aren't really skill checks, it's more just small quests for the guild chapters. Guild Guide. Ah yes, I've heard of the tradition over there in Morrowind. Quite an invention at its time. Morrowind needed one, with all that blight storms, ash creatures, and grumpy Dark Elves running around. Well, we've got horses and ships. Well, Dunmer had their silt riders, but here the situation is entirely different. There's just no need for a guild guide. Reasons for a guild guide. Well, of course there are. Many things have advantages and disadvantages. Mercantile, making money. That is 50. We don't need a few coins for playing Trolls Unlimited. No bridges. I failed that one. Situation, current crisis. That's the Oblivion crisis. True, with the current Oblivion gates popping up all over the place, citizens need a way to travel from city to city. You need to be at least to spies in the main quest, without leaving the city walls, that is. So that's after you pretend to be a Mythic Dawn agent, and you can't have completed the main quest. So for position, you need to be a conjurer, rank in the Mages Guild or higher. It's true, we have to deal mostly with necromancers and similar threats. Isn't it better than the population as Cyrodiil doesn't get involved? Maybe, just maybe, helping the people a bit more in their daily life is a lesson we can learn from Vardenfell. True. Intelligence is 40, making the guild more flexible. So it's a pretty low check, but my Nord would fail all of these, so I'd have to raise my intelligence or get further in the main quest. You think we could use the teleportation network too? You're right, it would help us a lot when dealing with necromancers and other unexpected threats. So what are you thinking? Why not? If you're willing to help the guild guide getting started, I'd be willing to not disallow it. Of course, for every guild hall outside of the Arcane University, you need the permission of the chapters. So, are you willing to pay the necessary deployment fee and training costs? We've got 2 members available, just waiting to get started. Oh, and waiting for about 7,500 septims. So, I need to get a few coins first. Here's the gold. Yeah, if you get all 4, you don't have to pay the gold. Great. So where should we get started? Where should we start with our guild guides? Imperial City and Marindin. Imperial City, that's a no-brainer, but Marindin? Never heard of that one. Nevertheless, if you insist that it's important, so be it. Wasn't there a museum of Ayleid architecture planned? Well, never mind. I'll send word to our 2 mages. It shouldn't take them very long to get started teleporting people around. Marindin, maybe a good idea. We've got a quite delicate member, fresh from Sentinel. Can't have her here. She'd be better suited for a post far away from all those Soothé Decree nonsense. Anyway, the rest of the guild halls need to be persuaded separately. I don't see much trouble for you, though. So the rest of it is going to be mostly background, well, for the next few minutes or so. Skip ahead to 24 minutes if you want to meet Jobella, the new guild guide at Morrowind, or around 26:40 if you want to just continue with the questing. This is the guild guide for the Imperial City. Each of the guild guides eventually has quests that they ask you to do. I think they're all optional. They just help you find different people or locations, or they're just fun. But yeah, the guild guide quests aren't really anything you have to do. Yeah, I was showing that my mercantile wasn't high enough. Even with the disguise. Imperial City. Yeah, boring place, isn't it? Trust me. I'd love to go out and smash something, or get drunk in the next tavern, or just have fun. But you'll never get somewhere in life if you always follow your instincts. We are better than that. Mostly, that is. Guild guide. Yeah, I can teleport you for a small fee to just about every place you wish. If there's another guild guide, that is. So they all have little jokey responses for if you choose where they currently are. And the prices are pretty low, like 300 I think is the highest. So, to Imperial City. You're already here. I mean, I can teleport you around, but it ain't much sense, would it? So guild guide, and we're gonna go to Morrowind. So yeah, this is when the flavor dialogue starts up, really. Because we're just asking everyone about Morrowind. Just checking in with everyone.
What can I do?
So, Morrowind. Time's different now. If we had to choose our headquarters today, I doubt Tesser would pick Morrowind again. It's just too removed from the city. Back then Tesser started. I think she was more concerned with not having a mob with pitchforks and torches immediately before her doorstep. I can understand that, even if I think the decision made of fear was a wrong one. Painting. Seductive Tessera. Do not mention it, especially not to her. She didn't feel alright in the medallion painting, but this is probably the worst that has happened to her in a long time. Tesser hates it. Voluntarily, she'd never wear anything like that, and the only reason she wore it was because of the picture I painted of Karashivio. Their screams and fits of anger still ring in my ears in some nights. Yeah, there's a dialogue option where you can talk to Tesserael about it, that painting. Tesserael's choice. She knew the place, so she took it, and it serves its purpose well. I could have imagined a more lively place, but this is what we got, and we're gonna make the most of it. Now we're doing our best to make the ruin more cozy, repair damage where possible, put candles in important parts. After all, mortals in Daedra are supposed to be able to live here. General, be careful with her. She may not be able to hide what she is from you, but she certainly can from most mortals lacking proper arcane knowledge. We had dealings in the past, and there was always a lot of cleaning up necessary after her. She's ought to spread Lord Sheogorath's blessing, and nothing will stop her from doing so. Even a banishment would only be a delay. So yeah, you can ask her about the painting, and the response is pretty funny, so I'll save that for later when people might actually see it and not skip it. Tesser? Oh, I was talking about the faces. I put the the race balancing project OCO patch in this. So before the faces were all glossy in like the second half of the second video. Morrowind. It's the place I entered in this world. Often locations like this are overrun by conjurers, plane summoners, and similar shady people. Not Morrowind, though. It is now our headquarters, the place from which we will carry a light into the world. A mortal would have only seen a ruin in disrepair and decay, but I immediately saw the possibilities, saw what the place can become, and had become since then. Now it is our home. Jobella. Our local guild guide, a Khajiit from, I don't remember, somewhere north of here. I don't think she feels comfortable around here, though. But that will change, I'm sure of it. General. She's one of the most successful servants of Lord Sheogorath. Unlike most Mazkin, she's not defending dementia. She is instead nudging people down the golden road. Do not trust her. She's treacherous. Few members were already expanded quite a bit, don't you think? All females. Jobella, well, she wasn't chosen by us. The Council of Mages decided she's the best candidate. They may have had their reasons. It's just a coincidence that she's female. I'm not trying to build an Amazonian order here. I'd like to live in one. If I'd like to live in one, I could try to get back to... Yeah. Yes, Kana is female. Yeah, men... Oriel... Yeah, what?
Go ahead.
But yeah, the faces are... Like, it's like they chose to use the elf textures for Oriel when they're more sturdy than that, so they look kind of slim and conniving when they're more like Nords in the Shivering Isles, at least. They act like them. What is it? General, do not let yourself be fooled by her appearance. She may not look like your typical Mazkin at first sight, but she's more than able to defend herself. In fact, I've seen what she once did to a knight of the Order. Shattered him into a trillion specks of ashes. Morrowind. Better than a hole in some rock. We've got a roof over our heads. We've got beds. It's dry. Only the air tends to be a bit humid most days. Could have been far, far worse. The main thing I don't get is why we didn't close off some of the rooms. This place is too big for all of us, and the dark corners will make some visitors uneasy. Anyway, I like it here. Compared to the place I stayed before, it's a paradise. Plain and simple. Paintings, Kane's idea, yeah, nothing new for her. In terms of paintings. Yeah, so I'll be messing around with the faces a little bit, showing different options throughout the playthrough. You know, that way no one can complain about the faces, because you can have your own choice. There's like 5 or 6 different options altogether. Hello? What's there? What does it want? So... kind of forgot to mention the clothing add-on. It's included in the description. Look, I like you, but it got me again. That's me. It reminds me of the time when I could see the sky back in Sentinel. Guild Guide, if you're sure, I doubt it's a good idea, but no one's listening to me. Alright now, come back if you change your mind. Yeah, I got the persuasion thing last time. She gives the, look, I like you, but not enough. And I Got tricked into saying it. Hello, what's there? What does it want? Kara, I don't feel comfortable around her, let alone even speaking of her. The Oriole and Maz can at least pretend to look human. She, on the other hand, she's scary. Jabella, that would be me. Isn't it cold in here? Go to Cyrodiil, I said. You've got great chances there. Now I'm in this damp cellar with a horde of Daedra. Have you seen the exhibit? It looks like it's going to eat this one. Kane. She's strange. Almost like an Altmer until you look into her eyes. She's, I don't know, the first 3 Daedra used to be fighters, but Kane? A lot more deceptive, I fear. Merendin. My first day in Cyrodiil tells you something about men's opinion about my kind, that I'm locked in here with a bunch of Daedra. They even have an Exivila here. An Exivila. A horde of Daedra. That's what it was. Zereshu. She reminds me of a tragic tradition of a certain eastern country with people who look quite similar to her. Suffice to say, it doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy. At least her eyes are blue, not red. So yeah, that's in reference to the Dark Elves enslaving. I like pictures enslaving her, Khajiit. So now we're gonna head on to Shivering Isles to deal with that, or find that lost child and convince him to go home. So we're gonna go straight to Passwall and go to the inn in the Fringe. So up ahead I had a clip from a different attempt where all of a sudden the audio started kicking on, so I'm gonna transfer over to that in a little bit. Don't know where to go, or looking for the time of your life? Come to the 19 Voids, the premium pleasure pocket in the realms, northeast of New Sheoth, on an island in the Ingean Sea. A small, cozy home where we are all waiting for you. For you! There's a Daedric disclaimer there. Like a warning for Daedra, but no one else, Mortals who can't read that, they can just die. So yeah, there's the kid right there. And I'm going through, getting rid of this armor stuff. And you have to use a charm spell on him, or you should. This is Dreadwind. If you kill her, then you can pass one of the checks that he has. But only if you want to. But yeah, there's a disposition check of 70, so try charming him, because you can't do the persuasion minigame. So the me lost? No, not at all. Who would say such nonsense? Yeah, the audio is gonna kick in a second. The family one, the truth one is 70 disposition, and the sister one requires that an elf and anvil is alive. There's not much of my family left. My parents were on holiday and Cathay Wraith burned down their village. My father died a few years ago. My sister ran off with some Nord sailor, and it requires 50 speechcraft, and Wood Elf and Anvil has to be alive. She shouldn't die on her own, so it would have to be random. But as long as she's alive, you can use that one with 50 speechcraft. The truth one requires his disposition towards you to be 70. The truth, mother dealt with Daedra. You say my mom actually contacted a group of Daedra just to get me back? That sounds like a lie, and a bad one, but I think I can trust you. Oh dear. So you have to do one of each, the family, no place for you, and conjuration. So this is no place for you. And why? As if there's a better place in Tamriel. So no others of your kind. Dreadwind has to be dead, which she's essential right now, so we can't kill her if we wanted to. This place is dangerous. You have to have met a Order Knight happens fairly early on in the Shivering Isles main quest. Location, nothing new to learn. You have to have met Sheogorath, because he's a new Shea also. Nothing new to learn. What? No Mages Guild in New Sheoth? What place is this? Count, please. Yes. So, conjuration will be your downfall. This fails if you have conjuration over 50, but if you have fame 75, you can convince him that you did it for, you used conjuration for the greater good. If you have conjuration under 50, you can pass by having 25, at least 25 conjuration, so you have to be between 25 and 49. Or be a Daedric race, or read 75 books, or have intelligence of 70. So conjuration will be your downfall, says the one surrounded by an era of summoned creatures. So because I have conjuration over 50, and I don't have 75 fame, I automatically fail that one. Made up your mind? Well, yes, you made your points, so what are you gonna do? You were right. I have to go back. Time to leave heaven for me, I guess. I'm just packing my things and move back to Valenwood then. I just hope we never see each other again. So that worked out. Now let's go check out that 19 Voids. So it's over here, past northeast of New Sheoth, near the Sea of Injin Sea. Just gonna chime in here. This is another mostly background dialogue. If you want to get back to the questing stuff, go to paintings, tapestries, the 40-minute mark. So one on the back. Yep. And now let's go inside. The torch doesn't like her. Enjoy my dance while you still can. So yeah, there's a lot of paintings in here. So we got the Oriole and Dark Seducer. Do not tempt me. Turmarin made clear that you're her plaything. Oriole and Dark in Mazkin armor, and Mazkin and Oriole armor. I'm sorry, but Turumin has forbidden us any pleasures together with you. Welcome to the 19 Voids. 19 Voids, our little place of relaxing in this world. Drinks, dances, games for wealth and souls. You know the drill. Bed. Well, we have beds here, for sleeping, if together maybe, but definitely not for resting. Not your interest, huh, honey? Mazkin pair. Oh well, some rogue Oriole sent it to me. I'm not allowed to show it in my little pleasure pocket here, though. The covenants between Sanguine and Sheogorath are quite delicate. Some liberties I can take, others I can't. Bloody Seducer. There's a picture of me, well, an imagination of someone thinking how I looked after a night of passion. A nice scene, although not really fitting. I wear too much on it. In it? Fanged mouth. Consider it a promise. Honey? Care to volunteer? Painting. Mazkin lying. That's Kinnerl. I like her. She's quite seductive, one of the few Mazcads who deserve the name Dark Seducer. And she has sent quite a few meals into my clutches, so I'm happy that she exists. More Oriel and Mazkin should take her as an example, really. Nude Ohm's Wraith. While I agree that a fur carpet would be a more fitting, this picture does have a place in here. Now if only Khajiit lasts longer, and would probably even be able to work with me here. Could be quite a lot of fun. I fear though I have to stick with Daedra for now. Sanguine. Ah yes, our Lord Sanguine. No pictures can do him justice. What mortals do not understand is that without Sanguine's sphere and influence, they had died out long ago. Don't damn the obvious. Seducer in robe. The third one. I only keep her painting because I like how it looks, and to remind myself why one of the best times of my life had to end, why I had to suffer for another one's capers. Seducer portrait nude. That's Verjeka. We had a lot of fun in ages past. Girls hanging out together, doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. She's a servant of Molag Bal, and knows some very interesting techniques. In my dreams, when I have to spend a night all alone, I sometimes can hear the screams of her partners again. Oh well, the good old times. I don't know what she's doing, what fate did befall her. Haven't seen her for ages, not after our little group had to split. The third one fell from grace, and I was banished from my old pleasure pocket. Twisted Face. That's no twisted face, that's our Lord Sanguine. Tapestry painting, Mazkin standing, another image of the great Kinnerl. A fitting place for her, looking over our bed, isn't it? I just wish she came for another visit with a few mortals. Then I would throw a party in her honor. After all, it was her who helped me get a place for my pleasure pocket on the Isles. Tapestry, walking seducer. Do you like it? Unfortunately, that's not me or on the painting, but Teshekru, another Daedra seducer, which certainly would be very, pleased to meet you, honey. Guess that was all. What are you? Me? Same as you. Have you fallen onto your head? Oh well, here comes my usual explanation. I'm a Daedra seducer, not to be confused with Mazkin, also known as Dark Seducer. We should call them Mazcats, shouldn't we? Well, at least Daedric seducers are the names we're known as mostly. Mostly? Some sisters joined Mehrunes Dagon a couple of years ago and were labeled as Dark Seducer, not the Mazkin ones from here, mind you. It gets even worse, because there is also a similar breed of Daedra, also known as Seducer, mostly serving nocturnal. Oh wait, no, these were others of our kind. What an embarrassment. Mortals must have a connection in their mind between Daedra and seduction. I have to ask Derry about this. Work for Mehrunes Dagon? Unlike our resident Mazcads and Oriel, mankind doesn't have long-standing alliances. Each of us stands alone. Some work for Dagon, others for Molag Bal, others for Sanguine, others, well, let's just say we all have to find our place in the 19 voids. There, she has a question for you. Remember, these bars are not here to protect me. So yeah, it's way too much talking and looking at things. Let's go to sleep. Oh, honey, do you know how tempting you were? It took me a lot of willpower to not jump under the blankets with you and have some fun. Tell you what, Sheogorath, Haskell, and their rules be damned. If you're sleeping the next time before me, I will give in to my needs, and we will have a lot of fun. Now, if you excuse me, I need to cool down. So yeah, it's a little warning to not sleep in that bed more than once. So while we're here, there was a special request about the advertisements that we had to deliver it to the 2 places in New Sheoth. So let's go to Sickly Bernice. Another painting. Here she is. New Curry edition. No, I don't have enough time left to read without medicine. I don't want to burden my relatives with removing any more belongings than necessary. Civilay with sword. Oh, bitter irony. If not even Daedra remains, she is lost, a memory of a beauty long swallowed by time. So yeah, I think you have to do her quest before she'll accept the courier. So, yeah, some of the deliveries have little issues like that, where you have to solve something or do something in order to get them to accept the little advertisement. There are some innkeepers that die, so if they're dead they can't accept the courier, which might have an effect on your reward. What do you need? Depending on how many you give out. New courier edition. What's this? Something about a Panther River and Blackwood? What's Blackwood? You're really insane. You fit right into mania, friend. Great imagination. See, I see. He takes it no problem. Another painting of an island. Fortress Island. I've heard it lies north of the French. Kind of strange if you ask me. Whoever made the painting must have been standing on the ocean. Mages. Whenever you see something strange, you can be sure the answer is a wizard did it. In this case, a wizard with a knack for painting stuff. So yeah, that's a little hint about the big guild. So we're gonna go check that out. So you just head over here to Archer's Rock, or you could sort of find it on your own. But if you just go north of the Fringe, you could find this right here. And there's a boat. I'm gonna go ahead and save the art guild for the start of the 5th video, because I feel it deserves some extra attention. So we're gonna head on over to the Nord. Alright, so here we are on our Nord, and this vampire really likes me.
What do you want?
Famous persons. The Grey Prince is famous. Vampires to slay. Oh my god. Yep, disappears. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify a little. For the happy hunting, as you saw in the other videos, I just was speaking to random people. I think it's just a disposition check for just anyone in the district, because for 2 of them I spoke to vampires about people to recruit for vampire hunting. So yeah, so just go to any Elven Garden, Arena, Imperial Prison, Talos Plaza, go to those districts and ask people about wealthy or famous people, and then that's how you start the quests. So for the last one, we're in the Arena district, and sit with him. He really hates me. I would give anything to see Virtuous fight in the arena again. I sure hope someone challenges him. Yeah, it's best that he's in the dark, because he doesn't look good. Famous persons. I'm not sure, but I think that is Virtuous Felix standing over there. I'd ask myself, but I've heard there was this annoying Bosmer fan once. Let's just say they had to use a shovel to scrape him off the pavement. Virtuous Felix. You must be a fan of the blue team. Virtuous Felix was arguably the greatest champion the yellow team ever had. But after he lost to the Grey Prince, he stopped fighting in the arena. I wonder if that's really him. I'd give anything to see him take on the Grand Champion. That's from installing better cities mid-game. I'm sure there's a way to fix it, but do it later. Oop. Maybe. So here's Virtuous. Famous persons. What good is fame to a dead person?
What do you?
Virtuous Felix. Ha, no, Virtuous Felix is dead. Died here in the arena years ago. That's not what I heard. Then you heard wrong, stranger. I think I know if Virtuous Felix is dead or not better than you, or anyone else for that matter, seeing as how he is me. But you're not dead. Am I? Who are you to tell me whether or not I am dead? Speaking of which, why are you talking to the dead anyway? It's unseemly. Join the order. You're asking the dead to help fight the dead? How strange. Strange and pointless. No one even remembers this old ghost. How does one fight if not for glory? How can there be glory without memory? No, dead speaker. I will not heed your words. So the quest update says that, no one told you he was barking mad, and to go and get some people to show him that he's still loved, that he's still well known and famous, not forgotten. Arena fan. I would give anything to see Virtuous fight. Virtuous Felix, is it really him? I can hardly believe it. The Virtuous Felix is standing right over there. You should ask for his autograph. Are you mad? Me actually talking to Virtuous Felix? But I heard there was this annoying Bosmer fan that tried to follow him around everywhere once. They say it took the watch weeks to find the pieces. You should do it. You should ask for his autograph. You really think he'd do it? I mean, of course he would, for me, his #1 fan. Same thing. You should ask for his autograph. If I die, please tell my wife and children that it was worth it. You should ask for his autograph. I didn't survive this long enough as an adoring arena fan by doing anything stupid like that. I heard what happened to the last guy who tried to be Virtuous Felix's best fan.
Farewell.
So, because he's a Bosmer, he's extra afraid. But if you convince the other ones, you should ask for his autograph. I guess as long as he signs the autograph before he kills me, it won't be so bad. Yeah, this mod is very campy, but there's nothing wrong with that. Now that the 3 fans have approached Virtuous, I should be able to prove the Bosmer fan that the stories about Virtuous were obviously nothing more than tall tales and rumors. Well, if everyone else made it out alright, I guess all those stories were just made up after all. Now get out of my way. I have a lot of catching up to do if I'm going to be his #1 fan. This ought to go over nicely, I think. And it auto-saved, so I guess they had some issues with the mod or some kind of scripted scene. But yeah, this is obviously a meme of the adoring fan and how annoying he is. Well, Virtuous just killed the Bosmer fan, but he seems more cheerful than usual. I should probably ask him about joining the order now, while he is still in a good mood. And they run away. Virtuous Felix.
I haven't felt this alive in years, and they will remember that until they die, don't you think? That's all the fame is, you know, memories, fickle, mortal memories. Why did you kill that fan? He was from Woodhearth. I could smell it on him. I hate Woodhearth. You're completely insane, aren't you? Of course I am. If you step into the arena once, you're a fool. If you step in twice, you're dancing with Sheogorath. What was it you were talking about earlier? It wasn't Woodhearth, was it? Challenge Ratius in the arena. I see... yes, I see your name carved in the living flesh of this city. Its beating heart craves your ever-cutting edge. Do you feel it? Yeah. So... kind of having issues with the mod, or this part of the quest. So I'm gonna go ahead and get his ID. Just click on him in the console.
What?
We'll see if it works. Might help to wait till the proper time. So we gotta talk to Owen. With the arena raiment on.
Hello, my friend.
And you tell him, I want to fight Ratius Felix. You challenged Ratius Felix and he accepted? Look, Ratius may be mad as a slaughterfish with Greenspore, but he's one of the best damn fighters the yellow team has ever had. Don't get caught off guard. Now get up there and show the yellow team that they're nothing with or without Ratius Felix. So yeah, I'm on the Agronach fight, so he's the only fight I have left, and there's some issues, because when I go through here nothing happens, and if I click on the door it does say 1E, so I'm pretty sure it's the right door, but yeah, just this. So to fix it, do player dot, if it happens to you, move to, player dot move to, and whatever the ID is for Ratius, 116E7. See, and now I'm in the right arena. I mean, maybe it has something to do with better cities, or because I installed it mid-game. And now you just have to TCL over to the other side.
These warriors want nothing more than to please you. And if they fill their opponents with suffering and pain in the slaughter, all the better.
Yep, okay, the gates work. See, everything works, just I was in the wrong arena. Oof. I have defeated Ratius Felix in the arena, but the crowd loved it. I should talk to him once he recovers from the fight. So yeah, he just gets up. Eventually. There we go. reaches into his mouth and pulls out a tooth. Now that was one for the ages. They'll be remembering that until they die, don't you think? That's all that fame is, you know. Memories. Fickle, flashy memories. Joining the order. Ah yes. Seeing as how I am no longer dead, I should be able to oblige. Vampires, though, nasty business that. I bet most of them are from around Woodhearth. Well, I'll see you around. Yeah, he was just saying he wants to exterminate all the Woodhearth vampires. And yeah, he goes out your door. So it's a little weird. I mean, I tried to find it and I didn't see anyone else having this problem, so it might just be me. It still says 1E for the door.
You've returned. Please.
Well, hopefully that won't cause issues later on. Now, when I bite the grape. So here we are on the waterfront. Gonna go in to Morrowind. Hopefully it won't be too long of a journey. Travel to Aldgan. Alright, get on board. We don't normally take on passengers, but Arledil is an old friend, and we'll be stopping over Lilmonth for supplies, but then it's straight to Blacklight and Aldgan. So here we are in Morrowind, with giant mushrooms. Finally arrived in Aldgan. I should begin asking around about the Redoran heirlooms.
What can I do? Leave me alone.
Heirlooms. This again. Oops, no, that's not what I want.
It's my pleasure.
Heirlooms. Ah yes, it's right that Marilu should inherit these things. The armor of Erlin should be in the Ramaran ancestral tomb, but one must be careful. The ancestors are likely enraged by the presence of the Nords. The shoes of Saint Felms the Bold were one of our more priceless artifacts. They were housed in the Tribunal Temple, but the Nords or Orcs mercenaries have defiled the temple, using it as their barracks. The Ramaran battle standard was on display in the Great Hall, but it's impossible to say it's even survived the fighting. That is unfortunately all I know. Nord invaders, it's terrible. The Nords came with their Orc mercenaries and killed everyone and burned everything. And then they didn't leave us to our misery. The Nords are living in the castle, and those filthy Orcs are living in the temple. I just can't bear it. Why don't you resist? Listen, you should talk to the Hetman. That's all I can say for now.
I'm gonna do the whole liberating the Dark Elves thing, and I'm gonna do it a few different ways.
Why don't you
If you just want the item locations, go ahead and skip to 1 minute,
sure it's probably
for 1
same
hour
thing
40
again.
seconds, 1 hour 1 minute and 50 seconds,
that's
and
good.
1 hour 5 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of this.
Then you'll find the
in
item
the mod.
locations.
This mod.
If not, you
Everyone
can
has the
skip
same
around
topics.
and watch the
Just
different
have to
ways
ask
in which
someone.
to save the
That is
Dark
a big
Elves.
mushroom.
Make it quick.
So it doesn't really matter who you talk to, just
It's my pleasure.
as long as you can get their disposition up. Tribunal Temple. So let me walk in and steal it. No, you.
I am waiting.
Orc mercenary caption. New job for Orcus mercenaries. I am not gonna talk to a rude stranger like you about our secret plans. Or about a weird, rude stranger that does this. Yeah.
I hope I can.
New job for Orcish mercenaries. You're right. We should be the ones in charge here. We did all the work anyway. You give us 1,000 septums and we'll help you take down the Nords. Then I'm in charge. I think I'll consider it. Oh, well, don't take too long. Oh wait, I'm not even stealing. We got one of them.
You look like someone who's comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
If you'll excuse me, I don't have
So I'm guessing for at least one of them we have to overthrow the Nords or something like that. So for this one, the spirits are all upset. Okay, so I got the armor. Anything else worth taking? Take all their bones. Yeah, he told me to talk to, or she told me to talk to the head man.
Make it quick.
Why don't you resist? What could we possibly do? We have no arms, no armor. Weapons. We Redoran are trained in the longsword, the spear, and the bow. If you can arm us, then we will rise up against the invaders and their mercenary dogs. We will need one weapon for each Dunmer in the village. Weapons. Yes, you have something we can use? Sorry, I don't have a weapon for you. When you find a longsword, spear, or bow, please bring it to me. Was I supposed to pick up one of the swords? Well, let's go to the stronghold. Opening your gates. Hope you don't mind. Walking on in. Looking around. Oh, look, it's Kavach.
What can I do?
Nord invader. Could just kill you all. At least I don't have to worry about morals on this character. Can I like poison him? You know? Something? I guess I'm supposed to do a scavenger hunt. Looking around for weapons like that. Sneaky, sneaky.
Good to see you.
What's the latest?
Oh, I was like, yeah, girl power. But nope, the leader was a guy. See, there's probably like a, they even, the Kavach emblem is still there, carpet. Oh, there it is. I have all the heirlooms. I should return to Cyrodiil and give them to Maralau in the Talos Plaza district. So yeah, it's right there, underneath the rubble. So there's a bow there, here in the sleeping quarters. So let's see.
Go on.
Weapons. Do you have one I can use? An iron longsword. Well, it isn't much, but it should get the job done.
If you're all... Go on.
Weapons. Yes, you have something like iron bow. Well, at least it works. Vadril. We'll have to make the most of it. Weapons. You have something for me? Sorry, don't have any weapons. Why don't you resist? So I found 2 more weapons around the sleeping quarters in the castle, and I killed a Nord in order to get a silver longsword. Let's see. Weapons. Yes, you have something we can use. Oh, there we go. Silver longsword. I will get this to Havelessa at once. Weapons. Steel longsword. Bedevis should be pleased with this. Weapons. Yes, you have something we can. Iron bow. Excellent. As soon as I get this to Dalev, we will attack those Fletchers and drive them out. Why don't you resist? Okay. The Dunmer have been armed and are rising up against the Nords. Perhaps if the Nords are slain, their Orc mercenaries having no chance of getting paid will leave. Why don't you resist? We are free from the Nords. I am sure that no one will pay them. The Orcs will leave. Yes, you are free from the Nords. Go forth and live. The rest of you, yeah. I guess it's better to just let the Orcs kill them, because then it's just a bunch of nameless people dying. So for now, let's just try the Orcish route. New job for Orcish mercenaries. Fine, it's a deal. Ha, listen up, gang. Looks like we've got some work in this dump after all. So there's the Orcs and the Nords fighting it out. Maybe you have a spear?
Make it.
New job for Orcish mercenaries. We really showed those Nord scumbags. Now we are in charge. Really? 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 You guys are worthless. I mean, maybe those Nords were really worthless. Maybe if I had them fight against Rebel, they would have had to face the Orcs and the Nords, so this way they only have to face half of them. But still, I expected at least one Orc to die.
Make it quick.
Weapons. With all the Nords are dead, we won't be needing weapons. The Orcish mercenaries will soon leave because there's nobody to pay them. Why don't you resist? The Nords are all dead. I think the Orcish mercenaries will leave soon because nobody's left to pay them. In this case, it would be wiser to wait and watch rather than resist.
Just go away.
Well met.
So, one more. It's a deal. And now we run over here. Daedric Longsword. Daedric Longsword. Daedric Longsword.
Just go away. Your presence.
They are all here.
Someone's been murdered. Oh, murder!
That's more like it. Everyone dead.
I hope I can help.
Why don't you resist? We are free from the Nords and their Orcish mercenaries. This is wonderful. You're a zombie. You're a zombie.
Stay away.
Oh, he finally showed up, so I guess he survived. And he's upset with me again.
I accept your.
You're a zombie.
Hail.
You're a zombie.
How are you?
So yeah, you can do it a variety of ways. Just kill them all, or just go pick up the items, or do some intrigue, political intrigue. But in the end, you just need the items. Alright. It's about time. We need to get this ebony back to the Imperial City before the price drops on us. Helseth is doing the best to corner the markets. Alright, back in Cyrodiil. And here is Morrowind.
Get out. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please. Heirlooms. I can barely believe it. They are just as I remembered them. I cannot thank you enough. I will pass these on to my children so that their heritage is not completely forgotten. You have served me faithfully, and as a retainer of House Redoran, I will use my wealth to aid you and your order. Vampires. I am proud to lend my support to a worthy cause, such as the Order of the Virtuous Blood. Redoran should always be involved in useful tasks which benefit the people. Happy hunting. I have recruited some of the most famous and wealthy citizens of the Imperial City into the Order. This should greatly expand our operations in the city. I should speak with Roland about our progress.
Stop talking. Enough.
Alright, so finally finished the happy hunting of the Vampire Guild. I think there's like maybe 3 or 4 for that part of the mod. And then there's the dungeons in the mod, and then there is the companion, I think, the vampire hunting Dark Elf. So we'll get around to all that eventually. Might take a break from the vampire hunting mod for a little bit. Get into some other mods. Get rid of that Wraith Hand. Talk to this guy. But we've done enough for today, so see you in the next one.